In a small town on the outskirts of Ohio, where oak-lined streets and white wooden houses stood side by side, Ellen Harper lived a life that seemed ordinary but carried a profound pain no words could fully express. Ellen, a 38-year-old woman, was the mother of two children, Emma, 12, and Liam, 8, and once the mother of a third, Noah, a baby boy she never had the chance to watch grow up. Ellen could still recall that day vividly, a crisp fall morning in 2023, when golden leaves rustled outside the hospital window. She lay in the hospital bed, her trembling hand clutching her husband Michael's, as the doctor delivered the devastating news. Noah, the baby boy she had carried with so much hope, hadn't survived after being born prematurely. His heart was too weak, and despite the doctor's best efforts, Noah stayed with Ellen and Michael for only a few fleeting hours. Ellen held her tiny son in her arms, feeling the faint warmth of his fragile body, and wept. Her tears fell silently, soaking the hospital gown. Michael sat beside her, quiet, his eyes red and swollen. He didn't know what to say to comfort his wife, as he was breaking too. They had prepared everything for Noah, a wooden crib Michael had built by hand, the tiny clothes Ellen had carefully chosen, and a nursery-painted soft blue, a color she believed would bring peace to their little boy. But all that remained now was an aching void. Ellen returned home numb. She couldn't look at Noah's nursery without feeling her heart constrict. Emma and Liam, though young, sensed the loss. Emma, a sensitive girl, would quietly sit by her mother, holding her hand without a word. Liam asked innocent questions. "Mom, where did Noah go? When's he coming back?" Each question pierced Ellen's heart like a knife. In the days that followed, Ellen was consumed by grief. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and every glimpse of Noah's belongings triggered sobs. Worse was the guilt. She wondered if she had done something wrong during her pregnancy, if she could have saved him. Those unanswerable questions haunted her day and night. Michael wasn't coping any better. He grew distant, staying late at work to avoid facing the pain at home. Their conversations dwindled to curt exchanges, laced with unspoken sorrow. Some nights, Ellen heard Michael crying quietly in the living room, but she didn't know how to reach him. Their grief was an invisible wall, separating two people who had once loved each other deeply. But Ellen knew she couldn't let her family fall apart. Emma and Liam needed her, and Michael, despite his pain, was still the man she loved. She remembered her mother's words, "You can't choose the challenges life throws at you, but you can choose how you face them." Ellen decided she wouldn't let grief destroy her. She would turn her pain into strength to preserve her family, ensuring Emma and Liam had a joyful childhood, and her love with Michael endured. Ellen started with small steps. She forced herself to get up each morning, brew coffee, and make breakfast for her kids. Though her heart was heavy, she tried to smile as she talked with Emma and Liam. She read bedtime stories to Liam, even when her voice cracked. With Emma, she listened to stories about school and her dreams. Ellen wanted her children to know that, despite Noah's absence, their mother was still there, loving and protecting them. With Michael, Ellen was patient. She knew he was grappling with his pain in his own way. Instead of blaming him for his distance, she began leaving little notes on the kitchen table or in his coat pocket. Simple words like, "I know you're hurting too, but I'm here and we'll get through this together." Slowly, Michael opened up. One night, he held Ellen tightly and cried, saying he felt helpless for not shielding her from the pain. For the first time in months, they talked about Noah, their loss, and what they still had of family. Ellen also returned to her job at an insurance company. She had always been a dedicated worker, but after Noah's death, she thought she'd never find motivation again. Yet she realized her job wasn't just about earning money to support her kids. It was a way to rediscover herself. Each day, she pushed herself to complete tasks, even small ones like answering emails or helping clients. Those small victories made her feel she still had purpose, that she could stand tall. Ellen began rebuilding her family's happiness through simple moments. She started family nights where they played board games or watched movies together. She and Michael took the kids camping, sitting by a fire, sharing funny stories and memories of Noah. Ellen didn't want Noah to be forgotten. She created a small corner in their home with a photo of Noah and a candle. And each year on his birthday, the family lit the candle and shared what they loved about him. Ellen also learned to forgive herself. She joined a support group for mothers who had lost children, finding solace in their shared stories, tears, and even smiles as they remembered their babies. The group helped Ellen see she wasn't alone, that her pain was part of her deep love for Noah. Over time, Ellen's home became a warm haven again. The harsh arguments with Michael faded. They learned to listen and respect each other's emotions. Emma and Liam grew up surrounded by love, though they sometimes asked about their brother. Ellen answered honestly, saying Noah would always be part of their family, even if he was somewhere far away. Years later, as Emma graduated high school and Liam entered middle school, Ellen looked back on her journey with a sense of peace. The pain of losing Noah never vanished, but it became a part of her, like a scar reminding her of a mother's boundless love. She had turned that pain into strength, not just to preserve her family, but to live a meaningful life. Ellen often stood before Noah's photo, smiling and whispering, "I love you, and I'll live well for you." She knew that somewhere in the universe, Noah was watching, and she wanted him to be proud of his Madeira woman, who had overcome darkness to bring light back to her family. Ellen's story is not just one of loss, but of love, patience, and sacrifice. It reminds us that no matter how harsh life may be, a heart full of love can find light, and a mother, with all her strength, can turn pain into the foundation of a happy home. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe and share your own story in the comments. Your voice matters.